Last question on the prelim. You're given a third year exam. You're given a 3D view with dimensions on it, a full size drawing. So using the sizes given, draw the end elevation and the position indicated. End elevation is indicated here. To do that, we can project over the overall height, top and bottom. And as for the width, we'll have to do some arithmetic here. So we've got 15 and 15 is 30, but it's 40 millimeters wide. So using ruler and a vertical line to start off with, we can measure 40 millimeters across. And we have the size now of the overall box. Except for two cylinders that stick out 5 millimeters. The cylinders are situated here, so the first thing I'm going to draw on the outside of the box will be the outside, the centre and the bottom. Then using instruments we're measuring forward 5 millimeters, ruler on, mark on position, and we can draw outside of that. Moving on the outside only, there will be a surface down here. There's a surface visible here, and that surface flows to the top. So we have to get some detail. There will be a visible line projected across at the lowest point. There will be a visible line projected across here, but in the middle we have, so what we're going to do in that position is project across lightly using, we're going to measure 15 millimeters on the 0 down to 15. We can then measure the same distance in from front and back, both 15 millimeters. Produce a vertical line. Now that's all that's going to be visible on the outside of this. So I could afford in an exam to say, right, that's seen up here, these two are seen, and there'll be a ridge underneath and a ridge here. Now what have I forgotten? There's also the sticking out cylinder, so I can go back up and add those vertical lines, sorry, horizontal lines. And I have to draw the vertical lines in. We will have the front of the speaker, the front of the unit itself, the handle. Now please note there's a gap here. And the back. Now that's the external part. There's two things that we're not going to see. Hidden detail for this and hidden detail for these. We notice that these are the same width as the handle, 10 millimeters, 10 millimeters. There's a flat area in the back here. We will see that as hidden detail. There is the top of the buttons. Again, that will appear as hidden detail. And going further up, the underside of the handle is detail we cannot see. Not forgetting this little groove underneath. Check, we've got the front, the side, the top, we've got the underneath bit here, we've got the shelf here. This is all flat, visible. Put that one underneath. We have a centre line. We should have a small centre line through that cylinder. Now for the top view. Well, we're given a starting point for it. and I want to try and carry these sizes round. So I'm going to use, in this case again, the front edge here, this surface, and I'm going to use the 45-degree bending line to bring the sizes round. 45-degree bending line will sit there. The overall width, front to back, we can project up and across. The overall width from left to right gives us a chance to get the overall box within which the drawing is going to take place, except for these two. We have two cylinders sticking it further, in this case to the front. Aha! My 45-degree line did not go far enough. There we go. So from that 45-degree point here, I can now project across. And for those two cylinders, I can project up left hand side, right hand side. And that might be also handy to know for centerline purposes later on where the center is. On the right hand one point, center line. Is there anything else going to be visible? Well, yes, on the top of this, definitely the handle. That information we can project across. So again, projecting up to 45-degree bending line, up to 45-degree bending line, and she goes all the way up. We can then project across. So, let me just see. We have the basic box. On the left hand side, on the right hand side, we have a back edge and a front edge. But remember, we have two cylinders. Using the given construction lines, the ones we've already drawn, we can now draw on the front. Looking to the top of the object now, the top of the object has the handle. The handle. The handle is going to go from side, uninterrupted, all the way across. So we can put in our uninterrupted handle. Externally, that's finished, but we still have to say show hidden detail. So starting from the top, is there a handle detail? Yes. Underneath this corner is shown as hidden detail. Looking down at the next layer, we have buttons. These buttons are hidden directly below the handle, so will appear with the gap in the middle, moving down a layer, no hidden detail coming up until we get to the bottom edge. We're not fully at the bottom yet, but this groove goes from front of the body, not the speakers, from front to back. Moving down to lowest level, we also have the little groove that cuts underneath, that goes from front to back. Plan, elevation, end elevation, center, center lines. For the cylinder, it lines up with this other point, but we can extend a center line out through the front.